Welcome to Introduction to Environmental Science. I'm Professor John Reuter, and I'm here at the Albany Millersberg Talking Water Gardens. It's May 7th, 2013. What I want to show you today is an example of green infrastructure, where engineers have used a combination of marshes, open water ponds, plants, and waterfalls to treat water to improve the oxygen in the water, lower the temperature, and remove some pollutants. I'm going to show you a few scenes around here today, but you can see just at this point there's a waterfall in the background. There's very interesting looking features in the water, logs and reeds and cattails, ducks and ducklings. It's a beautiful spot. Here's a good example of what the engineers did in this place. There's lots of open water, but there's also features of logs and pylons placed in the water, and the little hummocks of land with bulrushes and other plants sticking up out of them. All of these provide a highly diverse mosaic of plants and water and substrate, which allow the natural processes to take place at a variety of rates and clean the water. The water is treated in this water garden by running it through a combination of cells. You can see off to the left one cell that's separated by some vegetation, a little hummock there, and then as it goes, if we pan over to the right, you can see these other cells. This allows the water to be run through the wetland with a controlled residence time. Longer residence times, being more contact with the plants and with the other vegetation in the soil. I'm standing here in front of one of the waterfalls. The waterfalls are a way of naturally aerating the water as they move from a higher level, that area behind the berm maybe 20 feet taller, down to this level, and then there's a canal that takes around, goes around to another waterfall, and finally down into another level. So the variety of levels in this area also provide the ability to move water just using gravity and thus save energy. I'm in the middle of the Albany Millersberg Talking Waters Park, and I just wanted to point out a few features. Here's a waterfall that I showed you. Over in there is one cell, and you can see there's a berm that goes down to a lower cell, again for water control and setting the proper residence time. Looking over here, you can see in the very background one of the old industrial buildings that was used in this region. So this park is right in the middle of an industrial area. Scanning across to a whole other part of this cell that's filled with emergent vegetation, see an active train yard. So the combination of all of these features just right in the middle of an industrial area is fantastic. Here's an example of a very simple water control structure. You have beams placed in these channel iron, and by removing or adding boards you can raise or lower the height of the pond, and just a little bit of water comes flowing through. Takes a little bit of maintenance to come in and move these boards up and down. It's a very simple structure. No energy required, nothing to fail. Really very safe operation. In the background, this yellow plant is Scots broom blooming out. That's an invasive species. I'm sure they'll... Here's an example of the biodiversity. There's a mother duck and maybe 10 or 12 little ducklings swimming through the floating vegetation. When you see this beautiful wetland and waterfall garden here in Albany, Millersberg, realize that the engineering practice that would have been here if this garden weren't here would have been a huge cooling tower like you see on The Simpsons. same sort of technology used to cool nuclear plants. And one of those big concrete cylinders that is used to as a tertiary sewage treatment plant, where the sprinklers go around and sprinkle the sewer over a bunch of rocks and slime. So the difference of a beautiful, diverse wetland with recreation opportunities and benefits to the ecosystem compared to some very functional, but some would probably say ugly, I showed you some pictures of ducks and ducklings, and while I was out here I saw frogs, I saw a hawk being pestered by probably a blackbird. I'm just not a good enough cameraman to capture all that stuff for you, but if you want to see it, all you have to do is just come down to Albany, Oregon, and follow the signs to the Albany Millersberg Talking Water Garden, and you'll be able to enjoy all of this for yourself.